And China has urged the international community to interact more with Afghanistan's interim administration. That's as a new national envoy from the Taliban's interim government presented his ambassadorial credentials to the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Well, let's cross live now to Victor Gao, Chair Professor of China's Soochow University. Many thanks for joining us on the programme today. It's nice to see you. So what does the acceptance of the Afghan ambassador say about China's political attitude towards the interim government in Afghanistan?
First of all, Afghanistan and China are neighboring countries. We share a common border of about 100 kilometers, which is a very important passageway between China and Afghanistan and further to the western parts. Now, from the Chinese perspective, China fully respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Afghanistan, and the fact that China already dispatched China's ambassador to Kabul, and this time the official credential of the Afghanistan's ambassador to China has been formally accepted by the Chinese president, in my view, indicate the formal establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Afghanistan. China thus becomes the only country and the first country in the world to formally recognize the Afghan government. And this also indicates China's commitment to develop peaceful, constructive relations with Afghanistan. After all, we are neighboring countries, and there is a duty on both China's side as well as on Afghanistan's side to make sure that our neighborly relations will be conducted constructively and peacefully for mutual benefit. This is a very important step in improving China-Afghan relations.
The Taliban, as we know, remains mostly isolated by the West. And at a time when China is already under a lot of pressure from the EU and the US, is this not going to exacerbate that pressure for China?
No, I don't think so. I think relations between China and Afghanistan should be purely a bilateral relations. It has nothing to do with any other third country or blocks of countries. And China and Afghanistan, being two sovereign nations, have full right to decide how and when and to the extent to which they want to develop their bilateral relations. And the fact that both countries, as I mentioned, are neighboring countries, and both feel the desire that we need to do the right thing to make sure that the common border between Afghanistan and China remain a peaceful border, and none of which will interfere in each other's internal affair. And our focus of developing the bilateral relations will be promoting peace, stability, mutually constructive, beneficial bilateral relations is and should be a good example of any kind of bilateral relations between any two countries in the world. It should not be an exception. It should be the rule of the game rather than an exception.
Victor Gao, Chair Professor at Soochow University, many thanks for speaking to us today. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.